That's part of the things that they are criticizing it for. That can a common man afford, say, 200, 300, 400 or a flight from here to Lagos, here to Abuja, here to Ibadan, wherever? Do you understand? So, and that is what I just want to appeal to operators to always consider, that why we are marrying that the airport is operating, we should also look into the fees, the fares of flights, that there should be special consideration for those who are common. Civil servants should be able to book a flight. A trader should be able to book a flight. The market woman should be able, after all, this is a cargo airport. Farmers should be able to book a flight. Say, we want to go and deliver in Lagos. Say, we want to go and deliver in Abuja. So farmers, traders, all this, those who are selling in the market, they should be able to also say, let's book this flight. So that's my concern in all of this.
You are we doing ọtí kí mo sọ pé o sọ̀rọ̀ tán tí ó bá ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè tí mo mọ̀ pé tíjọba mi náà bá dé nǹkan mi náà làwọn náà tún ronú pé kí ni ó tún jẹ́ kí Èkìtì kó tún máa tẹ̀sí ọwọ́ iwájú. Dáwìn ní àná òde yìí ilé ẹjọ́ gíga ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà wọ́n gbé ìdájọ́ wọn kalẹ̀ gbìm torí pé bí ọjọ́ bíi mélòó kan sẹ́yìn awuyewuye tí ń lọ lọ́tún ló sì pé tọ́ pẹ̀lú bí ẹni yòówù tá a bá dìbò yàn gẹ́gẹ́ bí pàápàá jùlọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà tó ṣe pé ìlú ló dìbò yàn wọ́n nípínlẹ̀ wọn pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní agbára láti yọrù gómìnà bẹ́ẹ̀ pé tọ́ ẹni tí ó jẹ́ bí ajẹ́lẹ̀ tí ó jẹ́ ẹni tí ó máa jẹ́ bí ìjọba pàjáwìrì pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní agbára láti yanrú ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ pé ńgbà tó jẹ́ wípé aráàlú ló dìbò yanrú gómìnà bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́ ní àná nílé ẹjọ́ gíga ìjọba àpapọ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n wá dájọ́ pé olóhùn àgbọ̀nsalẹ̀ ló ní họ́wùhọ́wù pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti yan ní ìpínlẹ̀ kípínlẹ̀ tó bá dàbí pé awuyewuye gbọ́n mi sí omi ò tó tí bá ń lọ ń bẹ̀ pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà pé wọ́n ní agbára láti yan adelé sí irú ìpínlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ dóyin bóni.
I'm still trying to understand the judgment of the Supreme Court because it's a bit confusing to me. I don't know, but then I'm still trying to understand, and that's why maybe when we bring in our guests to put more light, we'll shed more light, and help her explain why, how, because there have been concerns. You remember the previous state of emergencies compared to now, when the emergency rule was active in Lagos State, in Rivers State rather. They've said that the circumstances are different. What happened back then in the days of former President Goodluck Jonathan, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, is different from what's happening now in the administration of President Bola Tinubu. However, we'll leave that to legal practitioners to help us explain that. However, the Supreme Court has, has told us that the president has the right to, put emergency rule in any state through whichever means that it feels that normalcy has to be restored to the site.
Yóò sílẹ̀kùn fún àlejò aláàárọ̀ yìí kí torí bí à ń lọ láàárọ̀ yìí gan ó dàbí pé ó fẹ́.
But then we'll go for this short break.
Jásẹ̀ mi ẹnu náà ká lódì kejì.
We'll bring in our guests. Do stay with us.
Hello there. Are you thinking of embarking on a journey to any country in Europe, America, South America, Asia, Australia, or wherever you may desire in the world for education, tourism, business, or what have you, and you are confused on how to go about it? You Fit Fly is your go-to company that will help you realize your dream. That is why you're enjoined to talk to us at You Fit Fly for seamless flight reservation, hotel reservation, educational consulting, visa processing, airport transfer, special vacation, travel insurance, holy pilgrimage, and international conferences. Visit us today at Success House, 7 Up Road, Oluyole Estate, Ring Road, Ibadan, or call 0901-111-1190. Website youfitfly.com. At YouFitFly, your travel logistics will be sorted out seamlessly.
Ẹ̀yin tó ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sí orí ètò yín ètò ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó ń lọ láàárọ̀ yìí láti ìkànnì wa ní àyẹn Adamimogo 107.7 FM ní Ìdó Èkìtì níbí. Àlejò wa ti wà ní ojú òpó láàárọ̀ yìí. Lámì ètò àwùjọ ni wọ́n tí wọ́n tún mọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú dáadáa, nípa ká fa kòókùndùn nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú, ká fa yọ ibi tí ò bá yé kí wọ́n fa yọ. Alàgbà Adébáyọ̀ Àdó, àwọn ni àlejò wa láàárọ̀. Àbídòyìn ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò àlejò wa láàárọ̀ yìí. Hello. Ẹ káàárọ̀ sálàáfíà lẹ́wà. Gbogbo ilé ń kọ́ o. Bá a dárúkọ yín ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ dáadáa kó mọ̀ pé bóyá báwa ṣe dáhùn kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
Orúkọ tèmi ni Adébóyè Àdó.
Ok.
Láti ìlú Àkúrẹ́.
Àkúrẹ́ olóyè mẹ́kùn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ṣeun gan ni mo jẹ́ akọ̀ròyìn.
All right.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ilé ìwé ìròyìn.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ado, for joining us again on this show this morning. So let's just begin with the latest of the news that unfolded yesterday, which is the validation of the Supreme Court on state emergency powers from the Constitution, from the President, validating that the President has the constitutional right to impose state of emergency or emergency rule in any state he deemed fit or deemed necessary to do that. So what do you make of the judgment? Many have said it is quite confusing. As a matter of fact, many did not even understand where to belong or align with at this time. After all, looking at how things have unfolded, the governor of the state is now in alignment with the president. So, your take generally?
Well, I think, let me say this, thank you for having me. And I think few months after the emergency was declared in Rivers State following the political crisis that enveloped that state. I think that declaration by President Bola Tinubu actually occasioned, controversies whereby people asked to challenge if the president has the power to actually declare state of emergency. So now the Supreme Court has made it clear, which for me, as you said, some are not clear enough. I think it is clear enough that the president has the implicit power to declare state of emergency in any state. And what is most important, or that is key here, is the president, either President Bola Tinubu or any president who have in the future, is for the president to truly utilize and his power. It shouldn't be used for political or sinister reasons. So I think what we should actually hammer on is the fact that the power should not be abused. So many had actually believed that the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State was about politics, but the president, and most of the presidency, came out to say it was for the best interest of Rivers people and it is for the purpose of peace. So to lay this to rest, I think people should only encourage the president to utilize his power, constitutionally.
All right, but the concern is that why the president have the right or constitutional power to impose a state of emergency in a certain state, does the president have that constitutional duty to remove an elected governor? I think that's where the issue is.
Well, the president never removed Governor Similayi Fubara, His Excellency.
Suspend. Yes, suspend. That's the word. Sorry.
So he was only suspended and was never removed. And I think the Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, actually quoted the face of the Constitution that backed the president's power to suspend the democratically elected governor. And if you look at it, the suspension brought about peace. It restored peace to Rivers State. At a point, the state was in turmoil, and the state has been the state was in the news lately for negative political reasons. So I think if the president could take an action that is meant to restore peace, I think it's a welcome development.
Ẹ kú ojúmọ́ láàárọ̀ ìyàlejò alẹ́ kan sí. Sálàáfíà lẹ́wà.
Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run.
Bí a bá ní kí a wò ó ní àná òde yìí nílé ẹjọ́ gíga ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n gbé ìdájọ́ kalẹ̀ pé tọ́ ààrẹ ó ní àṣẹ bóyá ní gbogbo bíkíbi tí àwọ̀ bá ti ń lọ nípa tọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú láti sọ pé tọ́ kí àlàáfíà ò lè jọba, ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ìjọba tí ó jẹ́ ti tá a lè pè ní ajẹ́lẹ̀ kí a fi ránṣẹ́ síbẹ̀. Irú òfin tó gbé agbára wọ ìjọba àpapọ̀ báyìí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ni wọ́n ń gbé káàkiri ìgboro ẹnu pé àbí ó lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ àbí kò lẹ́tọ̀ọ́, pé nígbà tó ṣe wípé irú gómìnà bẹ́ẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gómìnà tìlú tó dìbò yàn ni, tó yẹ ṣe pé àwọn aráàlú ló dìbò yàn. Ǹjẹ́ irú dúkù àti làkàdí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé ó ní gbèdéke pé àsìkò báyìí ni ó lè dé, irú gbèdéke báyìí ló lè dé kó tó di pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ó kéde ìjọba pàjáwìrì nírú ìpínlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀?
Tí ìbéèrè yìí bá yé mi yékéyéké, gẹ́gẹ́ mo ti ṣàlàyé ní èdè òyìnbó, ilé ẹjọ́ wa, mo fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà kí wọ́n yìí ní ìgbàgbọ́ nínú ẹjọ́ tí àwọn ilé ẹjọ́ wa bá dá. Ìtàn òyìnbó ń pè ní we should have this trust in our judiciary. So mo fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà kan yìí ní ìgbàgbọ́ nínú àwọn ilé ẹjọ́ wa. Nígbà tí ilé ẹjọ́ ti fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé kí pé ààrẹ ní agbára láti lè declare state of emergency. Níwọ̀n ìgbà tí court wa bá ti lè sọ nǹkan tó jọ bí eléyìí, mo lérò wípé tó bá jẹ́ pé ohun tó máa mú àlàáfíà wá sí ìlú ni, èmi ò rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tó burú, torí wípé àlàáfíà gan ni gbogbo ènìyàn ń gbàdúrà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. A rí bí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè láti bí oṣù méjì síbí sẹ́yìn, lórí wọ́n ṣe ń gbé ni wọ́n ṣe ń pa àwọn ènìyàn wọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n a dúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run pé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ó ti ń fọgbọ́n lọlẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ju tàtẹ̀yìnwá. Ohun tó bá máa mú àlàáfíà dé bá ìlú tí kóòtù wa dẹ̀ sọ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bó ṣe rí, mo lérò wípé náà kò burú jáì, àbá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ náà mo ṣe sọ.
Ǹjẹ́ ó wá ní gbèdéke torí nígbà míì bí dúkù àti làkàdí bí máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní bí irú ìpínlẹ̀ kan, jẹ́ òfin fi àyè lálẹ̀ pé tọ́ àyè báyìí ló lè dé o àbí bí báyìí ló lè dé o kó tó di pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ lè kéde ìjọba pàjáwìrì nírú bí ìpínlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀?
A rí pé nǹkan tó bá máa dá ogun sílẹ̀, nǹkan tó bá máa jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà máa jọba, mi rò kó jẹ́ kó ní gbèdéke ìgbà tán fi lè sọ wípé kí wọ́n declare emergency. Níwọ̀n ìgbà tó bá ti jẹ́ pé nǹkan ti ń dojúrú, iná ti ń sọ ní ìpínlẹ̀, mi lérò pé ó yẹ ká tún dúró de ohunkóhun. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá rí pé àlàáfíà bá jọba, àká lè dédé gbà fẹ́ kéde emergency. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tá àlàáfíà bá ti jọba tó ti ń di pé ìdàrúdàpọ̀ wàhálà ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú, ẹ̀tọ́ ìjọba ni láti fi kéde emergency yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n kò sí gbèdéke kan àbí ìgbà nínú àtúmọ̀ tó bá ti rí pé ìgbésẹ̀ ká má àlàáfíà bá lè ní, mi rò bóyá ká dúró de ìgbà kọ̀ọ̀kan. And ààrẹ fún ara ẹ̀ náà mọ iye ọdún, iye oṣù tàbí iye ọjọ́ tí emergency àfi last. So nǹkan tí mo rí sí ni.
Doyin.
All right, before we leave the emergency issue and go to other conversations this morning, there is the other concern that now that the Supreme Court has validated that action taken by the president as affirmed, there is a concern as to successive governments or president or future president or future government saying if cases like that arise, it would empower future government to say, okay, state of emergency and all of this. There's a political concern. There's a concern as to might probably be a tool in the hands of politicians to get at some persons who are not on their side and all of those concerns put together. So, do you fear any negative impact that this may have in the future, or do you have concern?
As much as we don't have the prognostication of what might happen in the future of this kind of incident, that is why I said earlier that I think it's high time for civil society organizations, political analysts, political watchers, and citizens, to also lend their voice to this issue by actually advising the government not to use this as political witch hunt. Yes, not to use as. So I've said it earlier. We cannot preempt, and we don't have any prognosis as whether a future government might do such or not to politically witch hunt the oppositions. But what is key here is to now raise the voice now. Let's lend our voice by like this agenda setting theory. Let's lay an agenda now by emphasizing into the ears of the government to actually see this as an opportunity to arrest chaos, to arrest the chaotic situation, to arrest an escalating violence instead of politically using it to silence the opposition. So I think that's my view to it. So
right.
and I believe Nigerians are not that patient enough once they fight something that is aching that politically targets the oppositions.
All right. Now let's get to one of the main reasons why we invited you to the show this morning, which is about governance in Ondo State, where you've been a journalist, a public commentator, and you've spoken about governance, politics, not just in Ondo State, even beyond, across the world on several topics and several conversations. But we are bringing it back home to where you are, and the concern is on the state government. It's been 2 years of the administration of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who has been running the affairs of the state since before his election, but since the demise of his predecessor and now his election as a substantive governor. And 2 years down the line, many have raised concerns, especially those who are in the opposition, say the governor has not done so well and more needs to be done as to development, human capital development, infrastructure development across so many areas. So what's it like with the Ondo State government?
Thank you so much. I think this is based on the perception and views of people. We have these individual differences of we perceive issues differently. But as a journalist that upholds the ethics of the profession and is expected to be objective at all times, with what I've seen so far, the governor has not in any way been bad, to be fair enough. If you talk about human capital development, I think in this 2025, he has actually employed over 1,000 teachers. And recently, as we have this skyrocketing issue of insecurity, he has also, as of last month, thereabouts, he has also kicked off the recruitment of 500 administrative personnel. And we all know the Adamimogo University, AAUA, in Akungwa-Boko, and it's also very close to Ikare. The governor has also kicked off the digitalization of. I'm only telling you things that I I know very well. He has kicked off the dualization of that road from Ikare to Akungba, so that the university also will benefit the dualization to stem this tide of accidents, this recurring issue of accident in that university town. And when you go to Akure now, I think all the traffic lights are functional, and as we speak today, and he has paid salaries up to date. So I don't know the angle where critics are seeing this from. So if I can get their own perspective, then I'll be able to talk much better on it and offer my own view. But with what I've seen so far in terms of governance, the governor has not done bad. Yes, and in my own yardstick, measurement and estimation, he has tried his best. However, more things are still need to be put in place, which I believe he's doing. So that is it.
ẹ kú ohun àlejò wa láàárọ̀ yìí kókó ọ̀rọ̀ tí a ti pè é láàárọ̀ yìí torí pé ilé là wà ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí oníròyìn ìtọ́jú rẹ̀ sì kalẹ̀ tó ká oko díẹ̀ ẹ rí i pé nínú ìṣèjọba ìjọba mi à pé bóun bá ti lo ọdún kan àwọn ó sì nǹkan báyìí àwọn ó sì nǹkan báyìí ọdún méjì ọdún mẹ́ta àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àmọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ọ̀pọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ alátakò ní pé gómìnà Lucky Orímisàn Ayédàtiwa pé ó dàbí wípé wọn ò fẹ́ jáwé sóbì ìṣèjọba tó ó yẹ kí iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè kó ti máa kọ lálá nípínlẹ̀ Ondo jù báyìí lọ pé kódà gan bí ayẹyẹ ọdún méjì ṣe ń pè gan pé ó ti yẹ kí àwọn iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè lóríṣiríṣi kó ti lálẹ́ wù dáadáa. Ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí oníròyìn kí lẹ̀yin rí sọ sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣèjọba ọlọ́dún méjì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ṣé nǹkan sì mú yẹ́ẹ̀sì àbí ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó.
Ẹ ṣeun gan ni olóòtú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ṣe sọ ẹni ọdún méjì ó rí bí ọmọ tí ó rù ní afẹ́fẹ́ ọdún méjì bọ́ lóye tèmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀ròyìn tí mi dẹ̀ ní fi kan bà kan nínú bí mo ṣe sọ ní èdè tòyìnbó mo ní ohun tèmi mọ̀ tí mo sì ní dájú ni wípé látìgbà tí gómìnà yìí ti débẹ̀ kì í ṣe pé mo ń gba owó lọ́bẹ̀ gómìnà kò mọ̀ mí mi ò sì mọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ tèmi láti lè sọ òótọ́ tó wà ń bẹ̀ òun ni wípé gómìnà yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀nà oníbejì láti ìlú Ìkàrẹ́ sí Àkùngbá torí ìpànìyàn ọ̀pọ̀ tó ń pa àwọn student Adékúnlé Ajásin University orí afẹ́fẹ́ ni mo wà gbogbo ènìyàn máa gbọ́ mi ìdí tí wọ́n lè fi sọ ọmọ rẹ̀ di ọ̀nà oníbejì ni torí bí mọ́tò ṣe ń pa àwọn ènìyàn tí ó dẹ̀ dùn mọ́ àwọn èèyàn nínú àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ti fẹ̀hónú hàn owó dẹ̀ gbé gbèsè wípé kí wọ́n ṣe ọ̀nà ẹ̀kọ́ jẹ́ oníbejì tó láti jẹ́ kí ọ̀nà fẹ̀ dáadáa ètò tó dàbí rẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n ní kàn gba àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn bíi over 500 ó dàbí wọ́n ní kàn gba bíi 500 àwọn olùkọ́ tá à ń pè ní tíjà ó ti ní kàn gba bíi 1000 ní ọdún tí a wà yìí pàápàá ó ń ṣe àwọn ọ̀nà náà ní ibi tó kù tí mo tún gbọ́ tó ti ń ṣe àwọn ọ̀nà wọ́n pe kíní kan ní lọ́dà ìkan pè ní leave bonus àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìgbà leave bonus yẹn níbi oṣù méjì sẹ́yìn ń sìn so èmi ò wá mọ bí tí àwọn ènìyàn sọ pé kò ti ṣe iṣẹ́ so èyí tẹ̀yìn bá dẹ̀ rí bíi pé ẹ wò pé bí báyìí ní òṣìṣẹ́ dáadáa tó ẹ lè jẹ́ kí n mọ òye tí mo bá ní lórí ẹ̀ máa ń láyé àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ní òwúrọ̀ yìí.
I think we should also let me just reiterate the question that my colleague is asking is, when governors mark certain year in office, they mark it with project commissioning. It is more or less like a norm in Nigeria now, where you see a governor say 1 year in office, 2 year in office, 3 year in office. There are a list of projects to be commissioned, where they bring dignitaries and other senior politicians or some other persons to come help them commission those projects. And people are not saying that, and that's one of the concerns being raised, especially by the PDP in your state.
Well, when it comes to politics, one of the reasons why personally I remain in my profession fully because I've seen politics as a game that is laden with lies and actually Personally, I am not playing down on the allegations of the PDP. But I want to reiterate is that, the opposition, either the PDP or the APC or the Zenith Labour, ADC, I've never been constructive with their accusation and allegation. However, project is still ongoing in those states that I speak. For instance, there is this we call it the overhead bridge.
Flyover.
This flyover. Thank you so much. Flyover. So the governor inspected it. So, and I believe that you cannot commission a project that is still ongoing, to the best of my knowledge. So there are many projects like the one I refer to in Mikare to Akungba. You can quote me anywhere. Even those who are still working are still in Mikare. While people in Akungba have moved virtually all their shops, some have removed their shops that is very close by the roadside. So, and there are several projects like that are ongoing. Only what I see there is that I think multiple projects going on at the same time, it won't finish at the same time as well. While others too have been commissioned. For instance, the Amotekun office was commissioned, I think, 2 weeks ago, if I'm right. So I think the projects are not, the bigger ones, I'm not holding brief for the governor, but I believe, in my own estimation, that bigger projects that are yet to be completed will be commissioned by perhaps big wigs from other states and the likes. So this is, recently Governor Ibandi, I remember, I think I was in a news recently where he invited people not from the state, from outside, to commission projects, and this is his 4th year in office. So I think governance in Nigeria, with the economic situation, demands patience and time.
All right, thank you so much.
ẹ ṣe àlejò wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí oníròyìn tí ojú rẹ̀ tí ó tó létí ó tó kò dáadáa, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe ń sọ, ẹ mọ̀ pé ètò ìlera wà, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wà, ètò ọ̀gbìn wà, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ náà wà tó yẹ pé olúkálùkù ìjọba bí ọdún bá ṣe ń yípo làwọn náà máa ń pé tọ̀ èyí báyìí ni àtúnṣe. Àmọ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ní ẹgbẹ́ alábùradà wọ́n fi ẹ̀sùn kan gómìnà pé tọ̀ ńgbà tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe ayẹyẹ ọdún méjì yìí, kàkà kó ṣe pé àwọn nǹkan ribiribi lẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè kóró, ọ̀nà tó yọ kòlòlò àti gbogbo àwọn nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ó fẹ́ jẹ́ wípé bí ẹgbẹ̀rún bíi mẹ́wàá náírà ni gómìnà ń fún àwọn èèyàn níbi tí wọ́n bá lọ, dípò èyí pé gbogbo wọn ìbí wọn bá kó papọ̀ ó ṣeé ṣe kí wọ́n fi ṣe tí yóò bójú rí fún àwọn aráàlú. Èyí kí lẹ̀yin rí sọ sí?
Sọ́rí, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo fi sọ ní ìlú tó òní wípé ìmẹ́gẹ́gbẹ́ nìkan kì í ṣe olóṣèlú, mo lè lérò wípé mo lè jẹ́ kan ní àwọn torí àfi tí bóyá tí olúwa bá sọ wípé ìgbà òṣèlú
ní ọjọ́ iwájú.
Ní ọjọ́ iwájú ẹ̀sùn gan ni. Ìdí tí mi dẹ̀ fi fẹ́ràn òṣèlú nítorí pé nígbà míì ìrọ́pọ̀ àti PDP àti APC àti ADC akọ̀rẹ́dẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ láì rí pé a rí àwọn ẹ̀rí. Tá bá wò dáadáa ní ti ètò ẹ̀kọ́, mi rò pé a gbọ́ wípé àwọn tíṣà wọn ṣèwọ́de àbí wípé àwọn students ọ̀sẹ̀ ní class àbí wípé òun ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ti ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tí wọ́n dàgbẹ́ tún mẹ́nu bá ti ètò wọn. Ètò
ọ̀gbìn, ètò ìlera bí ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé, omi tó ṣe é bù mọ́ bù wẹ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Ní ọ̀pọ̀ tó kọjá bẹ́yẹn mo rí kàdé kọmíṣánná fún ètò omi àti gbogbo ẹ̀ pé wọ́n fẹ́ commission project ńlá kan tí wọ́n ń ṣe lọ́wọ́. Tàbá wo nú àwọn ìwé ìròyìn wa ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀. So bí mo ṣe sọ lọ, ọdún méjì náà lẹ pé ọ̀rọ̀ bá tún sọ tó bá jẹ́ kó ti pé ọdún mẹ́rin. So nígbà tó pé
ẹ̀yin ò wá wò pé bíi Friday tí ó dùn ọjọ́ Thursday láti mọ bí ó ṣe rí, ẹ̀yin ò fojú bẹ̀ wò.
Tọmọ orí bí bàbá wa ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu wọ́n ní pé kó wá sọ Nàìjíríà di ìlú òyìnbó, wọ́n lọ fún ènìyàn dẹ̀ nítorí pé ọdún méjì ò tó láti sọ orílẹ̀-èdè di bíi tìlú òyìnbó. lè ṣẹlẹ̀. Níwọ̀n ìgbà tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ project lọ lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n sì parí rẹ̀, ẹ̀yin lérò wípé ẹgbẹ́ kan fún ìjọba yẹn ní àkókò yíyà lóye tèmi. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀ròyìn yìí náà kíjọba ọba ṣe dáadáa a máa sọ̀rọ̀. Kò sí pàtí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tó jẹ́ position kan tó sọ̀rọ̀ akọ̀ròyìn wá ti sọ àwọn nǹkan tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìlú mẹ́tẹ̀lẹ̀ ìpákòròyìn kankan sọ̀rọ̀ tó àbí ìwé ìròyìn kankan tàbí ìwé ìròyìn kankan sọ nǹkan tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó akọ̀ròyìn nǹkan náà ni ìjọba náà lè ṣe lóye tèmi. Gbogbo nǹkan náà ni gbogbo nǹkan lè fi síná lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣe díẹ̀ náà ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òbí náà tó bá kù sí náà gómìnà fara wọn náà wọ́n máa mọ bá ṣe máa ṣe àtúnṣe ibẹ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ wá béèrè kó tó di pé a ṣe ojú òpó lẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn lára ẹ má bá gbé ìṣèjọba gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo tá a bá gbé sórí àtẹ ìgbéléwọ̀n ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí oníròyìn ibi tọ́rọ̀ dédò ṣé ẹ̀yin ò sì rí i pé iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè ṣé kò mọ̀ fà ńlẹ̀ bàbá ní a gbé sí orí òṣùwọ̀n ni o ṣe mọ̀ pé ìgbà tí ó bá ìdìbò ọdún tí ń bọ̀ nísìn yóò fẹ́ dàbí wípé tọ́ àtúnṣe lẹ́ẹ̀kejì àṣẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì ni ó fẹ́ tó máa wáyé láàrin kí lè rí sọ sí.
ọ̀rọ̀ yóò bá dẹ̀ sọ tó bá jẹ́ wípé ètò òyìnbó wa ni ṣùgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àpọ̀ sọ wípé by 70% the governor has tried. No one can get it all. And ó dẹ̀ ti ṣe ìmọ̀ba tó lè ṣe torí pé àwọn tí ìgbà kan tí àwọn èèyàn ń jẹ owó oṣù tó ń jẹ ìṣẹ́lówó oṣù mẹ́fà mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé ó lè má sí nínú ìwé ìròyìn wọ́n sọ pé àwọn kan tí wọ́n ń jẹ ní owó ìfẹ̀yìntì bí gómìnà ṣe débẹ̀ náà ó ti san àwọn kan lára rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n mi ò wá mọ ibi táwọn èèyàn ń sọ̀rọ̀ pàtó sí wípé kò ti gbìyànjú ó ní mítà kan tó ń pè ní ó dá tiwa mítà tó ń pè ní mítà tí àwọn jẹ́ kí n lo òṣìṣẹ́ NEPA ti tẹ́lẹ̀ NEPA ayé àtijọ́ àwọn tó ń mú iná wá mítà yìí ti wà ń ta ó ṣòro fún àwọn ènìyàn láti gbà yí mítà tí wọ́n ń sanwó fún ṣùgbọ́n mítà yìí ti wà níta tó ní káwọn èèyàn máa gbà ní ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀sọ́ mi ìwà mọ bí káwọn èèyàn ń sọ̀rọ̀ pàtó sí tó lóye tèmi náà ó ti ṣe ìjọba ẹ̀yìn ń lọ tó kó tó di pé ọdún mẹ́ta tí ò bá ti wá sí nǹkan kan tó wọ́n ti commission lò àwọn máa béèrè pé ó dá kí ló ṣe àwọn tó ti ń bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ tó wọ́n ti fi parí rẹ̀.
Before we just open the studio line, I just want to ask, good that you've highlighted so many developments that the state has seen under the administration of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. However, there are areas which you have also said more needs to be done. So maybe you can just help us highlight some of these areas where you think the government is probably not doing so well in these certain areas, and it's high time that concentration and focus is being given to those places or those areas.
The place that is very paramount, an area that is very paramount to me, which I believe I would love the governor to implement it by making education free from primary to secondary, because if you look at, I think only, if I'm right, I'm not sure, but I think Lagos and Ibadan operate that in Southwest. And then when you go to the north, I think Kaduna State, I'm very sure, yes, Kaduna State is free education. So I don't know if the government also can look inward to this sector by making education free. At least this would ameliorate the burden of parents and as well use money to do that thing. However, the government is paying this WAEC fee. He has been paying that annually for all SS3 students. But if you look at it, only SS3 students are beneficiaries of this. So I think despite the actual amount, the minute amount, the infinitesimal amount paid by secondary school in those states, we would see that we have parents that can't also afford this amount. That is why we are also looking at giving the way well-meaning Nigerians also can actually. May I tell you on air that we have seen, for instance, an indigene of Adamimogo moved down to public school and paid tuition fee, despite the how cheap it is to tell you. So I think for me, I want the government to look into this area by making education free. And as well, in as much as Southwest is doing well in terms of security, you could recall that the former CDS and now Minister of Defense said the reason why Southwest is free from banditry is because of there is this key coordination between the governors. So I think the governors of Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun, I don't know, and so they should look at this and also copy so we can have a uniform education structure.
All right. So finally, what's the state of security in Ondo State?
Please come again.
nípa ètò ààbò nípínlẹ̀ Ondo ǹjẹ́ ó múnádóko tó bó ti yẹ kó rí nípa ètò ààbò nípínlẹ̀ Ondo.
Ètò ààbò àdúgbò lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ló máa ń dáàbò bo ẹni. A ò lè dáàbò bo ara wa. Máa kó ìbọn 10 ká kó àdá 10 kó gbogbo èrò ìjà gbogbo ẹ̀. Kí ìwé ìsọ pé tó lé ọ̀bá ṣọ́lé náà àwọn tó ń ṣọ́ wọn ṣọ́ lásán ni. Nígbà yìí Ọlọ́run náà ni àdúgbò lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. Àlè tó tún dàbí rẹ̀ ní wípé àwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wa náà wọ́n ń gbìyànjú, wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ ribiribi, wọ́n ń gbé àwọn tó yẹ kán ṣe èrèdí kan tí gómìnà náà sọ pé kán tún gbà mọ́ àwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn yìí nìyẹn.
Lẹ́yìn tó túmọ̀ sí pé gómìnà náà ń ṣakitiyan nípa ètò ààbò dáadáa. Lẹ́yìn tó túmọ̀ sí pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo náà àwọn náà ń ṣakitiyan nípa ètò ààbò dáadáa.
Wọ́n tẹ̀ ń pa ipa wọn tí wọ́n bá sábà wọn ní kán tún gba àwọn èèyàn bíi 500 pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ báyìí. Kò sí ìjọba náà ká fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò ṣeré sà tábárí ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa yìí. Kò sí ìjọba gan lọ́wọ́ sí nǹkan wa gan wọ́n lè fi project sílẹ̀ gan kan lọ́rọ̀ ètò ààbò náà fẹ́ máa gbọ́. Wọ́n á ṣàdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run torí pé Ọlọ́run ń pa wá mọ́ torí pé tọ́lọ́run bá pa wá mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n àdúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run ló ń pa wá mọ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Ẹ já sí ojú òpó lẹ̀ ọjọ́ tí ń lọ díẹ̀ 0704700 7701 0704700 7701 nọ́mbà tó wọlé agbára láàárọ̀ yìí náà tàbí 0707276 6278 0707276 6278 ní nọ́mbà tí ẹ lè fi bá wa dá sí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí lọ́wọ́ àlejò wa tí a gbé wá láàárọ̀. ẹ ló ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ ta o.
Good morning, presenters.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Oladoyin and Abolore.
Thank you, sir.
You are doing a very good job in your studio there. My name is Comrade Adedoyin, precisely from Oswekiti. It has been very long I attended to this program, but because of exigencies of time, I couldn't just make it. But I want to appreciate the man you brought in this morning. And I want to appreciate the Supreme Court that actually made and explained in details how the president can impose his executive power in declaring state of emergency in a state. But I want to make certain things correct this morning. Tinubu did something wrongly when Fubara was suspended in Rivers State. When Tinubu created SCDA in Lagos State, Obasanjo seized the allocation coming to the local government. And the whole Nigeria woke up and reacted to it. Obasanjo did not return that allocation to local government. Now, the problem in Rivers State, it is not a maladministration problem in Rivers State. The problem in Rivers State was engineered, that is my opinion, by the former governor, between him and Fubara. The House of Assembly in Rivers State has never a time accused Fubara for maladministration. The local government has never accused Fubara for maladministration. But because of the crisis, the 6s and 7s between Wike and Fubara, only created that problem. That was why the problem in Rivers State happened. And what Wike wanted to happen in Rivers State actually happened.
All right. Thank you.
It actually happened.
Thank you so much.
Now, look at him. He already is now in APC. If Wike had remained in the PDP permanently, it is possible Mubarak wouldn't have joined APC by now.
All right, thank you
That
so
is just my
much.
contribution.
Thank you so much. Let's just say, all right, we lost the call. All right, Mr. Ade, Mr. Adeboyado, is your parting shot as we wrap up on the show this morning.
Hello, sir. Please, can you
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, please, can you rephrase? Actually, could I hear?
I said your parting shot. The caller. I want to believe you heard some of the things that the caller said.
I was struggling to.
All right.
Actually,
All right. Your parting shot, because we're out of time. Your parting shot as we wrap up the show.
Hello.
Hello, I'm going.
I was just trying to say that you should wrap up your parting shot, your final remark as we wrap up the show.
All right. Well, let me just say this, that Nigeria should always engage in constructive criticism, and we should just keep encouraging the government. Not saying we should not criticize. Yes, we should criticize, but it should be constructively.
All right.
So that is just
All right. All right. Thank you so much. We've been having conversation with journalist, public affairs analyst, Mr. Adebayo Ado. I've been speaking on the state of governance in Ondo State. Thank you for your time on the show this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Ẹ ṣeun, a lérò pé bàbá tún pè nígbà míì ẹ̀ tún jẹ́ wa.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sọ.
Ó ṣe àdúpẹ́ o. Àmọ̀ rí yín bá títí ọ̀la òde yìí tí ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ tá a tún máa pàdé lórí ètò yín ètò ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó ń lọ ní Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Jamiu Abolore lèmi ń jẹ́ o. Nàìjíríà ò ní ẹ̀ dàrú. Ẹ kú ọwọ́ lẹ́nu sí ó dìgbà kan náà.
All right. Oladoyin Ayegbusi is my name. Till next time, when another beautiful edition will return. My name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi, like I said, and apologies. We couldn't pick quite a number of calls this morning. We'll do well next time. The news at 12 comes next. Do join us. Thank you.
This is an Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Idoikiti, the voice of the light.
Last minute miracle, Ọlọ́run Sàmúlù Alọ́ yóò dá òróró ojú rere sórí gbogbo ènìyàn.
Ọ̀fìyà tí wọn náà wà ní Adamimogo, Jesus City, látọjọ́ Monday 29, the Wednesday 31st rẹ̀ kọjá sí ọdún 2026. Nínú ìpàdé májẹ̀mú ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta tó parí ọdún ọlọ́dọọdún yẹn. Last minute miracle, mercy na open door of air. Lákòrí ìtọ́dún yìí, àfẹ́bá ọ̀dà májẹ̀mú àánú kí ìrọ̀lẹ́wọ́ lè dá sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ nínú àjọ ọdún 2026. Nípasẹ̀ fi ọ̀pọ̀rọ̀ sí Ọlọ́run aláàyè. Àtàwọn olórí ẹ̀mí, Màmá Bísí Aláwìyí Àlùkò, Sarah Praise, Ìlàjà Akétúndé Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, Àràmbádá Twins, Prọfẹ̀sà Olúwalọ́ bàbá Adamimogo máa súre. Bó ti wù ká pàtó, bàbá máa anointing gbogbo èèyàn. Láti rí wọlé ìfowó náà wọ́n kánsẹ́lì. Ẹ lọ máa forúkọ sílẹ̀. Ní JesusCityRadio.com. Ọ̀yánú àdúrà látọjọ́ Monday 29, the Wednesday 31st December. The CAC Grace of Mercy Bramunte, Adamimogo Jesus City tó wà ní Ìlàmìjà Village, Lekki Expressway Lagos. Last minute miracle. Gbogbo ẹni máa wà láàánú máa ṣílẹ̀kùn ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún wọn.
Adamimogo. This is an Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Idoikiti, the voice of the light.
It's noon.
The Nigerian army has taken custody of
Get ready to dive into the latest headlines,
Nigerians deported from the United
in-depth stories, and breaking updates that matter to you.
To face the challenge to be able to fulfill the dream and the aspiration.
From local events to global affairs, we've got you covered. Stay with us as we unravel the stories shaping our world today. This is Adamimogo 107.7 FM News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Global Box, your quick talk bulletin around the world on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Idoikiti. Here are the top stories. NBA slams police over tinted glass permits reinforcement. M23 rebels withdraw from Uvera in DRC peace move. Australian Premier shunned criticism of police after Bondi shooting. Many thanks for joining us on Global Vox this afternoon. I am Oladoyin Ayegbusi. We begin the news from Nigeria, where the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has condemned the Nigerian police force